North Texas is the best area for first-time homebuyers. We know you're excited about all the growth of moving to North Texas, but you're not sure if you can afford anything in the area. We're here to tell you what area is going to be a good fit for you.
So let's get started. I'm Holly Haven.
And I'm Andy Haven.
Welcome back to the Haven Home Team channel. We are your North Texas no filter real estate team. And today we're going to give you the top 5 cities, in our opinion, that you should consider if you're looking for your first home in North Texas. So Andy, give me an idea. What is one of the homes on the list if a first-time homebuyer called you today, they gave you their budget under $500,000? We're just going to start around that price point. Where would you send them?
Yeah, I would probably send them to the Aubrey area. I know it's a pretty desirable area. There's some really great neighborhoods on that side of town. All of the food and businesses and all the companies over there are growing. I think it's a really great place for first-time homebuyers.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of advantage to that Aubrey area. It still feels very much like a small town, but you do have close proximity to downtown Denton area, which has lots of really cool restaurants. Of course, University of North Texas is out there. Texas Women's University is in Denton. Plus, you have close proximity to Frisco or the Colony, Grandscape area. I think there's a lot of opportunity in Aubrey to get really, a cute little neighborhood that feels, comfortable for your living specifics, right? You want to be around other people. You want to feel like you have community. I think Aubrey brings a lot of those things to the forefront.
Yeah, you're also kind of close to the lake out there.
Yeah,
and you're right off of 35. So, I mean, it's a 10-15 minute drive to 35, but you're off of a major highway out there, far enough out that you're still in a small town.
Yeah. Okay. So Andy, let's say that I am a first-time home buyer. I really need to be close to stuff. I need hospitals and doctor's offices and restaurants and all the things. I want all the things. I want to be in Dallas in 30 minutes and I want everything, but I'm a first-time home buyer. Where are you going to guide me?
Yeah, for sure. So my first thought would be Melissa, Texas. And right off Melissa, Texas, Anna, Texas as well. I'm going to kind of put those two together. Yeah. They are right off of 75. There's a Trader Joe's within 10 miles, which is amazing. There's a Buc-ee's in Melissa, Texas. If you haven't heard of Buc-ee's, you need to try it out. One of the greatest gas stations in America, but it's only in Texas.
And Texans know all about it. We plan our road trips around the Buc-ee's stops. She's not kidding. So if you're up this way, check out the Buc-ee's and Melissa. Yeah. You're welcome, Buc-ee's.
Melissa, Texas is growing though. Recently I had to go out there for a dentist appointment. How random. Ended up there. There's so many more businesses than I ever knew were out there. There's food and beverage, there's entertainment, there's doctor's offices. It's definitely a growing city, but the home prices out there around $520,000 average.
Yeah. So it gives us a lot of opportunity. We have a buyer right now that's building a gorgeous new home in Melissa, upwards of $850,000. So there's a lot of opportunity in Melissa, and there's something we're going to talk about a little bit more on our 5th town or city here on the list, but it's about equity growth. Equity growth everywhere between really Plano, Frisco, and all the way to the Oklahoma border. So we'll talk about that when we get to number 5. So stay tuned because you're going to want to hear why we have equity growth coming to this market and why it matters to you, whether you're a first-time home buyer or maybe even an investor and you want to really build some equity in some investment homes.
Yeah, and something to consider about Melissa, they have an amazing school district, right? They are one of the highest rated school districts in the area. This is obviously not my opinion. This is statistics speaking. But they do get an A for their school district, which is awesome. People don't know about Melissa's school district.
Yeah, and what happens, I want to point out, and I talk to a lot of clients about this when they're looking and comparing school districts. Here's something that happens when we compare a very large school district like Frisco ISD, for example. There's 13 high schools, I think, in Frisco ISD now?
I think there's more than that, yeah.
So you start thinking about, okay, those test scores, it takes a lot of people to bring down the test scores, which really does start to affect those school ratings when you look at niche.com and goodschools.org and all of these. So when you go to a really small town, I mean, guys, think about Mayberry. I'm not kidding. When you think about some of these small towns, some of the programs that are offered are very different. We have more agricultural, more home ec and lifestyle type programs, even though they also offer obviously up-to-date current technology classes.
Yeah.
But it changes when you have maybe 300 kids in an entire school, in the entire high school. It only takes a couple of test scores to really affect the overall school ratings.
Yeah.
So take those school ratings with a grain of salt, I guess you could say, and really compare what's important to you and your family, if you're looking at school districts and that's important to you, really think about why the ratings are the way they are and what you're comparing to. But Melissa kind of hits the 5 stars of all the things we can get in with, and that's, you know, kind of right there together. So you can get in there at a really great price point. You're getting great schools. You have everything around you. You're getting some convenience, but it is on the higher end of our first time home buyer price range.
Yeah, for sure. And then kind of moving into a little bit more expensive, but it's also a way larger city, the Colony.
Yes.
So the Colony is a great place for first-time homebuyers to get in. The thing about the Colony, though, is there's a very wide range of homes in the area. The city is around 40,000 people, I believe.
Yeah, it's pretty large.
Yeah, so compared to 2,000 people, we're looking at a very large city. So comparing all these home prices, the average is around $550,000 average sold price. But you're taking that into account for 40,000 people. So obviously a lot more homes to look at.
And you have the benefits of being just off of 121. You have great access to Frisco, to Grandscapes, to kind of all the places that you can get to within minutes of 121. So you kind of get the pros there of just strictly location when you start talking about the Colony.
Well, and my favorite part about the Colony is if you work in Dallas, that section right there is the worst part of traffic. You get on the tollway past all of that traffic, cruise down to downtown Dallas. It's a great spot to live in.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do think we have lots of options there, but my favorite option for first-time homebuyers is Sherman, Texas.
I know, Sherman, Texas. It's up and coming.
Yeah.
Some will say Decatur as well.
Absolutely. Decatur, Denison, there's a whole little section up there just south of the Oklahoma border that you guys are going to get a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, the average home price, sold home price in Sherman was around $250,000.
Yep.
So very low, lots of opportunity. We were just told something about putting a guest house on properties, that's allowed in Sherman, Texas now.
Yes. So it is an additional dwelling unit. And I would need to get all the details, but we were just recently informed that you can basically put an additional dwelling unit on your property in Sherman. I understand they made it a blanket ruling. So if you own a house, and you want to put a small rental, maybe even a guest house for family, friends, mother-in-law suite, that's absolutely allowed. But also those rental units, like maybe a tiny home because you have enough space and you can actually rent that out. So that's a huge addition, gives you the opportunity, especially if you're an investor. Sherman is amazing. Talking about first-time home prices, as an example, my son bought a home up there 18 months ago, and he paid $165,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath bungalow, 1,300 square feet. Super cute, had been fully renovated. Guys, it's a first-time home, right? This is not your mansion with the granite countertops. It's an adorable, cute, 100-year-old home that's been renovated. So it does give you a completely different feel in Sherman, and that's part of Sherman. There's also the part of Sherman where today we got an email from Highland Homes, and you could get in a brand new Highland home for under $450,000. So that's a huge advantage, for what you can get for your money in Sherman.
Yeah.
The disadvantage of Sherman is, you're a little bit further from Dallas, for example. If you do have to make a commute, it might be a little bit tougher drive, but you do have good access to 75. You have great access to the McKinney area. So if you're working in an area like that, Sherman might be a really good option. We're also seeing people come from Choctaw. So they're coming across the Oklahoma border. They're working at the casinos and coming down into the Texas, those top border towns, and purchasing because the property prices are so good.
Yeah, we're also seeing 3 chip plants that will be, I believe they'll be here by 2026.
Wait, like potato chips?
Not potato chips. Was that me the other day? Who said that? No, somebody else said that. So TI, Texas Instruments, will be moving to Sherman. They already have a plant in Sherman, but they're rebranding, expanding. I'm not sure how to kind of say that. But they're adding 2,500 employees, I believe. So that's going to be large out there. Globotech, it's another chip company. They'll be coming to Sherman by 2026 as well. And then a Chinese chip plant will be coming to Sherman as well. So I think it's around 5,000 additional employees to the city of Sherman. And it's bringing a $40 billion expansion.
Yeah. So that's going to be huge for the equity growth. So this is the reason I was saying, or we're talking about Melissa. So really, guys, if you're thinking about buying a home, you almost cannot go wrong. If you go between Frisco and Sherman, that Oklahoma border, take Denison into account there. We have a ton of equity growth coming that way because you're going to have a lot of commuters. The great thing about those microchip plants coming to Sherman is you're also going to gain more retail over time. It's going to start to grow. There's already restaurants.
Yeah, Sherman's already a large town. They're a town of a population of 45 to 50,000 people. So it's not a small town
Yeah.
at all. I mean, it is a small town considering nobody knows where to put the dot on the map, but it's a pretty large town. I believe they have a Target.
They do. You have access to hospitals and doctors and lots of retail. It's just, it feels so far away from Dallas, who are people who are from here, that it feels really far away. But honestly, you have a lot of great access and a lot of great equity growth coming up that direction.
Yeah, for sure. So if y'all have any questions about first-time home buyers, if y'all need to get in touch with a lender, we do have lender referrals, correct?
Absolutely. We have some people that can take great care of you that are very well versed in first-time homebuyer loans, what your options are, what you're going to need to put down. And guys, don't be scared. This is not like I have to have $20,000. You probably don't. You probably need about 3% minimum to put down.
Yeah.
So really preparing yourself. And again, if you're not ready today, go ahead and let's get that information. Let's find out what you are going to need so that you can plan. Maybe you can be ready by June. We just did a video a little bit earlier and we talked about interest rates. So interest rates are still good for you guys. We're not in a bad place. We're going to have some more opportunity as the year goes on. So put yourself in a position of planning what that next step is.
Yeah, for sure. A lender is like a financial planner. They're going to help you out, set you up for success. If you cannot afford a house, like she was saying right this second, they will let you know, hey, if you can go ahead and get this credit figured out, or if you can go ahead and pay down some of these loans that you have, you'll have a better chance of getting a home, right? So definitely something to look into. If y'all have any questions, we will leave our information down below. And if y'all will go ahead and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.
Like the channel.
Oh, like the channel.
Yeah, you got to like us, subscribe, leave us comments, do all the things. You help us and we'll help you.